Uh, First of all, I want to thank everybody here from the bottom of my heart for the opportunity that you gave all of us to go. Uh, it exceeded my expectations in total. When we first started out, we were looking at putting up a wall to keep the chickens out of the church on Sunday. Well, we didn't have enough people to do that, or the right people. Well, that's the way it is. So then it became a vision and learning tour, and I'm going, a vision and learning tour. Okay, what are we really going to accomplish down there? Again, it was far beyond my belief. One of the things we had to do is each night during our evening time together as a group, we had some devotion time, and we could share some personal things about ourselves. Before I left, I was thinking a lot about that, and what am I going to say, and how can I make that appropriate? If this is going to be like a visionary tour, an encouragement tour for Kim and Carlos and for the church. But in our devotion time, I had something in my Bible, and I came upon it, and I don't think that was by chance, but I came upon that, and I thought about some other stuff that is in my Bible that I had written there, from Pastor Ken Verholst. And I said, you know what? That would be great to share that with Kim as an encouragement. And you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. But in my Bible was a little devotional that Stan had given me. It's entitled True Ministry. I started with that. What do you think it means to serve the Lord? Think about that a minute. What do you think it means to serve the Lord? You know, sometimes we think we're not adequate to the task. Sometimes we think we don't have the time. And I have to tell you, going into this thing, I thought in February, okay, it's great. It's not boating season. When do we go? The middle of July. And I'm going, oh. The point of this meditation is such. It's not what we are going to do. It's how we're going to serve, how God is going to use us to serve Him, to do what He wants. And He did that on this trip. Let me go back to my cheat sheet here a minute to know what I'm supposed to talk about. But, you know, so perception, reality, and expectations, it far exceeded our expectations because there were a lot of things going on there. You think simple painting of a church, but how that energized the church, the people, when they saw that church. If you saw the before and the after pictures, the before picture was basically a real tight press board, and it was treated with something, so that's why it was that greenish color. Well, we painted it a nice aqua color. We painted the cream on the bottom. We painted the outside of the church a different aqua color. And it really looked beautiful. It looked great. That was one of the first things. And the people were very appreciative of that. So it made an impact and it energized them. We did other things with them, the visits that we did. And I'll share with you. Elisa shared. Well, I'll go back to Mita, the one that was outside, that was the 94-year-old lady. I have a picture of her on my phone that James took. She was rocking in her chair, talking with us through Jerfalese and talking to Carlos. Reminded me a lot of my mother. And so I had to have a picture of her with me. But we prayed for her, too. But there were other people we prayed. One of Lisa's clinics was supposed to happen in the church. Well, we went a little bit late, but we did go out and us guys tried to canvass for a women's health seminar, guys going out canvassing. Okay, well, we did it, but we went in the back roads. What you see on that video, Jarabacoa is a place of contrast. There's money there, but there's also poverty there. So there's some divide there. But we went on some of the back roads behind church, and we stopped at this one place. There's an older lady and her husband, and we came in, and we were talking with them, and and discussing some things and what could we pray. And, she came out and she showed us her leg. She probably had a wound the size of a silver dollar on her leg. And she had some salve there, but she needed more salve. But she couldn't walk very well because of it. So we prayed over her for healing. Pastor Eduardo took a picture of the salve container so he could give it to Pastor Fernando, whose main job is a doctor, to see if he could get her some salve. We went on beyond that to a woman who was from the church, an older lady. Her name is Lourdes. Lourdes is struggling with cancer. She was sitting there, and she couldn't sit very long. She said, I can't sit very long. I can't lie down. I can't stand. I can't walk very well because of it. She went inside and brought out her x-rays. All around her section, around the colon and everything, was all highlighted in red. So I imagine she probably has colon cancer. But one of her main concerns that she wanted us to pray for is that she has one daughter, that she wouldn't be a burden on her daughter. And that's another disparity that's in the Dominican Republic. The age range there of the base of the population is whereabouts 25 to 40. Not that many older people, but as healthcare does get a bit better, they're seeing an aging population that doesn't really have any money. And what do you do with that? How do you care for that? So that's an issue down there. So we prayed for her over that, and just praying for the different people. Santos and Marta, that one house that Elisa talked about. Their living room, Elisa described it a little bit, but the door is right by the road. They have one compact fluorescent light bulb in what is probably a 12 by 15 room that is their kitchen, their living room, and their dining room. So what you saw in the pictures didn't represent the total picture of what you see there. And there is underserved communities. There are needs out there in the outlining areas. And that's what Kim and Carlos are trying to develop their ministry around. They're trying to move out to an area in Crucero, which is closer to those outlying areas, so they can minister to those people. Well, through the whole thing, we had opportunity we had opportunity to work with them and to talk to them about that. We did some strategic planning because Kim is fairly frugal. She's Dutch. She's frugal, okay? Thrifty. But Carlos, he's got a lot of big ideas. So we had the opportunity to sit with them, Pastor James and I, and talk about being strategic about what you do and how you do it, and setting goals and not setting them so large you won't accomplish them. We were also able to do that with the church pastors, and that really energized them to go back and try and focus their mission. I think I was given 10 minutes, so I'm probably close to that or over. So I'm going to wrap it up, but there are so many needs there throughout the area. I didn't talk about where the church is, and I want to talk about that. They have their church, La Vide, which is in the town, and then they have a daughter church, Emmanuel, that's over in La Jolla. Both of those areas, and especially La Jolla, they're drug places. Heavy drug trafficking. And at night, a lot of prostitution, okay? So they're not nice areas. And we talked to the ministers, and one of the needs they see is they started a base foundation for Sunday school rooms. They feel they need that to expand the ministry, and they're very committed to staying in that area so they can minister to the people. The big thing is the young people don't have skills, and so they go out into the streets. People don't have money, so they prostitute their girls. The young boys start selling drugs, and they're trying to work with that. One of the pastors, Virgilio, his main job is heads up an orphanage. Well, you can keep the kids in the orphanage so long, and then they get sent out because they can't do anything else. So there's a big need for educating them. And I'll wrap it up with this. I was so blessed. I can't tell you how blessed I was to go. And since I've come back, I can't think of anything of how can we raise, and it's, thank you. How can we raise the money needed to build those Sunday school rooms and go back there? I even went as far as, I have a friend who I did Hurricane Dorian relief with down in the Bahamas. I texted him, and he messaged me with his phone number. I talked to him the other night. Well, he's going back down to Honduras at the beginning of the year, but he said, you never know, I might just want to come along with you. But he was going to a prayer meeting that night. He says, you know what, I'm going to bring that to the prayer meeting. We're going to pray about that for you. So it's my prayer, and I hope it's our prayer, that we can go back and we can do more ministry there, because there's more to be done, and I think we can do it even if though we're a small church. And again, I just thank you for that opportunity.